Welcome to Oregon Voters Digest, the program that brings forward the social and political issues that are important to people living here in the Pacific Northwest. And now, your host, Bruce Broussard.
Welcome to this segment of the Oregon Voters Digest. I'm Bruce Broussard, your host, and by George, this is 2026. And as I indicated before in the first shows we did a couple of weeks ago, is that it's about education. We're going to inform you. We're going to educate you now, because that's what we need. We're in a sort of a stressful time, and so consequently we're going to commit to that. And doing that, we're going to basically get out and get some more folks that will be sitting in this chair of mine, if you will. And bringing back some of the folks that had been with me for some time, and we've been together for quite some time. And I'm talking about Bob Williams, who's sitting here right now with me. And Bob, he's definitely a hard-nosed, staunch Democrat. You know, I'm a hard-nosed, staunch, conservative, Republican, open, non-affiliated voter.
Yeah.
But it makes for the show.
That's right.
And we communicate. But we are both former military. We're both former military. And you know who John Sweeney is, and so John's been around and he's been doing some stuff. So John's going to be doing some stuff, and so. But anyway, the point is that folks, we need to communicate, and we go back a ways, and we've got quite a background on both of us on that end of it. But the fact of the matter is, there's a need, if you will, for some sort of leadership. And we're going to be talking about not knocking people down per se, but educating you about what the situations are. And we're going to go and we're going to use some of that history that we have been in to basically get you on the table. And we're going to definitely caring for the young folks, because that's really where our hit is.
Yes, indeed.
And so we're going to basically be doing that over the course of the year. It's going to be very interesting because we got an upcoming election that's going to be happening, especially the presidential election. That's huge. Mm-hmm. It's going to be huge, and there's a whole bunch of political stuff that goes on that end of it. But on the other, that's right. But on the other side of the coin, we've got this other end of it that we had a base that was still maintaining this particular country, because we're numbers of cultures,
right?
Only one in the world, if you will. And so consequently, that's and see, people need to know what that is and what the makeup of that is, and this, that, and the other. So with that, we're going to start the show. As you know, Dr. King's Day is just right around the corner. That's on the 19th of this month, which will be on Monday. It's going to be on Monday. And so we're going to dedicate this show for Dr. King's. And not saying that, that we want to do the old traditional things, just get together and be talking from a ministry standpoint and at the church and going to breakfast and this, that, and the other. No, we got to get down to some of the issues that we're faced with today, which is very important, and we're going to educate you. And so that's what Dr. King was doing.
Right.
And that's what he was doing. In fact, he was marching up in Memphis, Tennessee, with a bunch of garbage workers, if you will, and got shot.
Right.
Gone. See? So consequently, we got to understand, why was he there, and for what purpose? And so, but traditionally, his birthday has been done in such a fashion that it never talked to his rationale for what was he doing. Go on, Bob.
Yeah, they continually. Well, first let me say Happy New Year to you, Bruce, and your lovely wife, Norma, and to our viewing audience. Yep. This is a year where I am dedicating myself to educating the younger people within my family and friends. I'm also, one of the things that I truly believe in, and is that prayer without work is fruitless. You can pray for anything and everything, but if you don't work towards it, God answers prayers. But man, when you work towards it, look like it come a little faster. And Dr. King was one of those. He was a minister, so he prayed, but he also worked.
He worked big time,
and he tried to get us to work. Today we got more. Let's talk about it. And I'll use an example of the shootings. Somebody gets shot, and we talk about it. School shootings. Somebody gets shot. Instead of the work is, how do we keep guns out of schools? How do we keep the people with guns out of school? That's where I send my children to learn. You know, and Dr. King, he didn't tell us to go get a gun. We sat at lunch counters, you know, without a gun, and people mistreated us, but we let them understand that your mistreatment is not going to stop us from working towards what we want. It's trying to get the goal. And so we have become somewhat complacent over the years, because back then we were working hard to get there. And there's a lot of us that feel like, man, I got mine, and I had to work hard for mine, and they go out. Well, one person used to tell us something, that was A. Philip Randolph.
Yes.
He said, you get what you can take and you keep what you can hold. And so if you're not trying to hold on to it by bringing others into it, they're going to take it away. You're going to lose
that's what's happening now.
Yeah. You know, it's right there in front of you. And when a man can say to you, hey, it's about me, it's not about you, or work to divide us, then his work is done. You know, we have to become smart Americans. And that's through education, through understanding, through talking, not fighting. You know, just because my idea might be different than yours doesn't mean that we shouldn't talk. It means that I might learn something. You might learn something. And that's what we have to get back to. That's the way we were brought up. You know, if you're not in the room, you don't get educated.
That's right.
You know, at the bar, when we used to go to the barber shop, that was when I had hair. We discussed everything, and there was all kind of different ideas, and oh man, you crazy, you know. But you know what? Some of us left that barbershop with some new ideas for the groups that we were going to talk to, and some of the things came to fruition. So we got to get back. Oh man, I ain't going to that meeting. They don't talk about nothing. Well, the reason they're not talking about nothing is because you're not speaking. You must have something that you want to say, and if you're not there, don't expect them to do it. Oh man, I ain't gonna vote. There's only one vote. My vote don't count. Wrong. We found out when you don't go, you get what you get. You know. So we have to get back. We don't. I'm not saying you got to be on the street. I'm not saying you got to go to every meeting. But I am saying you got to get involved. You know. Now, what's your level of involvement? Just being in the room. I found out. I went to some meetings back in the day where just me being in the room changed what was going on.
Yes.
You know. And it would be just my little black face there, and it changed how things were said and what things was getting done. So we have to stop seeing it and not doing anything about it.
That's right.
We got to do something about it.
Well, look here. On that particular note, tell you the viewing audience. Ordinarily, I would say, Bob, take a little time to talk about who you were at 6. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put the onus back on you from the standpoint of you, the viewing audience. Go back in time. This is on YouTube. And we were educating then.
Oh, yeah.
We've always been educating on this particular show aspect of it. But his background is there. The issues, big time. And excuse the French, we wasn't just talking about Northeast Portland.
No.
We were talking universal across the board.
That's it.
Across the board. And I think that's very, very important. And in all due respect, when you think about it, we also have the same sort of background in terms of the education and getting out there and getting involved because of the military.
Yeah.
The military basically changed our world. And that was the beauty of this country, of the draft. Just getting right. The draft was a beautiful thing because it took everybody and put them in that arena to go
Right.
through that process of what this country was all about.
You learn to work together.
They had to. They had to.
Because the guy to your left or to your right could have been the one that was saving your life.
That's right. That's right.
You know, it's one of those things where we think we're moving ahead.
Mm-hmm.
I was just talking to my grandson today, and we were talking about AI.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I said, and he was on his on his phone, and he pulled up my laptop, and he was showing me all these different things and going to all these different programs, and I was smiling, and I said, well, the new AI, I said, when these things happen, that was good because it gave us an opportunity to communicate.
Right.
But it's how we're communicating. What are we communicating about? I don't need to go and watch girly pictures. If I want to see a nice looking girl, I go home. You know, you know, I know two things gonna happen when I get home. I ain't gonna get in no trouble, and I ain't got to worry about anything else other than somebody laughing, joking, and talking to me. And sometimes it makes me realize the things that I'm saying might not make sense because she's gonna be honest with me. I'm not trying to impress anyone, and so. That's one of the things. But when you get to AI and you begin to deal with it, I asked him, I said, okay, he said, you know, they got AI now. They're going to be building the cars with AI. They're going to be doing this. And I said, really? I said, well, who's going to buy the car? Which one of those machines is going to buy the car? I said, because that means that all those people are going to be out of work.
Right.
Or maybe not all of them, but a large percentage.
Maybe him, if he's an engineer and he's looking for a job.
That's it. I said, so now what happens? How do you buy that car? I said, the thing that people haven't seen, I was in South Africa when Nelson Mandela was getting elected the first time. And I remember going to the American Assembly. We walked in there, and there was barbed wire across the fence. There were locks. I mean, you could hear locks, clock, 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 clock. The windows had locks on them and big wire. And I'm going, and so I was talking to, I can't remember his name. God, I was talking, but I'll just tell you the story. I was talking to him, and I asked him the question, why is it that you people rather imprison yourself than share? And that's what's happening to us today.
What did he say? How did he respond?
He didn't. He looked at me, he kind of chuckled, and he walked away and talked to somebody else because he realized there was somebody here that was going to ask the question. You know, I remember when I spoke with Mbeki, who was the vice president of South Africa. They were just gotten elected. And he asked me, he said, what do you think of my country? And I told him, I says, well, you own this. The difference in Africa and us African Americans, we were brought to this country where we are to work. I said, and when we got our freedom, we would let go with nothing. I said, that 40 acres and a mule never materialized. I said, but you own a country. Don't let the Americans and the Germans and the Asians come in and make you the workforce. He hugged me. You know, people took pictures of it and everything. The truth of the matter is, I didn't know who he was.
You didn't know who he was. Wow.
But I found out when he walked out on that balcony after the next day when I got home. You know, when I came back there, I was invited to stay for the inauguration, and I was ready to come home because I'd been there for 3 weeks, and I wanted to have some good food.
Right.
You know, so no, thank you, and I didn't even realize what type of history I was in. Really and truly, young, dumb.
That was major history.
Yes.
Yep.
And we went through that, and I remember those things. I look at us today. We're not fighting for anything. Everybody just sits around listening to other people talk, and you pick a side.
Yep.
And then what?
Yep.
You know, that'll give me your city council.
Yes.
You know, it's just so many things I look at, and I'm like, man, how is it that we went backwards
Yes.
instead of taking steps ahead?
Yep.
Yeah.
Like you said, you're getting right into this education system aspect
Yes.
of it. We got, and again, like I said, we're dedicating this to Dr. King because these are the kinds of discussion he was having.
Right.
But we didn't know how to accept him and put him in. We had a collar on, and that basically represented where we were, what we were doing in the during the old times. But the fact of the matter is, he was a very progressive kind of a person.
And he understood that, hey, when you're fighting for something,
Yes.
it's like matter of fact, it was either he or Jesse Jackson that said that to me. He said, Robert, we're in a fight. He says, you're in a fight with someone else. Now, are you going to open your hand and fight? He said, because now you got 5 fingers on each hand and they're slapping someone. Are you going to make a fist? Well, in order to make a fist, what happened to these fingers? They all have to come together. And that's what he was telling us. Those are the things that they were teaching us back then, that we have to come together. And we have to, and just because I might say something or bring something to the table that you don't like, don't mean that you walk away. It means that you stay. And if my idea is the idea that everybody else like, you're part of the group. Stay and try to make it work for everybody. Don't stand off to the side and go, yeah, I told you that ain't gonna work. Look how hard y'all working to try to make that work. No, put another hand in there because you're part of the group.
That's the issue. And on that particular point, and you think from a historical standpoint in terms of as far as where we were, you think Frederick Douglass.
Oh.
See, he was there for the fight.
Yes, he
was there for the fight, and he basically went out and reached out to the president then, who was Abe Lincoln, and he was the one. He recognized there was an issue out there. That there was an opportunity, if you will, to identify with the whole.
That's right.
Because the American flag was the 13 colonies, but there was another entity on the economic side. Was saying we're Confederacy, but basically it was about the money.
It was all about the money.
So, but the fact of it is, the kinds of, but I think Frederick Douglass recognized the only people that could work those fields were people with dark skin, because that weather was a monster. So he went to Lincoln, and Lincoln had to listen to him. But at the same time, when Lincoln went to him, he said, "Look here, we got some folks out here. We're looking for a chance here.
Right.
We're still slaves mindset. But if we get part of this situation here with the Revolutionary War, with the Civil War, if you will you give us a shot?" He said, "Yes, yeah."
Yeah, because they was about to lose that war.
They were about to lose that war
because the Northerners weren't hard land owners; they were city dwellers.
That's right. And so, and he, when you start thinking about it, you say, well, where are the folks that was with him once they saw that piece? Well, first off, they were still kind of like in that mindset of being slave owners,
right,
if you will, and so they were scared, if you will, to reach out to Frederick Douglass. Well, Frederick Douglass was a free slave on the other side of the deal, but he was an orator, so he was going around the colonies talking because he got that kind of training in a different way,
right? But
he was sharing it. And then you think about the movie Glory and things of that nature. There are a lot of things that were there, but for some strange reason, you never saw entities like trying to pick up that information. But today, as I look at it, is that it was such a divide thing that they did to folks that were for blacks, because of that. It was still wanting you to identify slaves. In fact, a lot of people don't realize this is that when they had that war, they made it very clear that no, the only people that are going to be fighting this war are white folks, white males. That was it.
Yeah.
And then he said, no, no one can come over here and fight. But he convinced Lincoln, being a lawyer, and that was his platform. He said, look, I got to win this war, because otherwise we won't have no colonies.
And that's it. And you can talk about the Civil War. You can talk about after the war,
yes.
where all these people are free.
Yeah.
Now what?
Yeah.
Well,
But everybody was
it's
free.
it's all about money in America.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's a fact.
And so the factory owners wasn't black.
Right. That's right.
So what did in the factories were in the north.
Yeah,
You know, you picked cotton, you did soybean, you did the farming and everything in the south, cotton and all of that. And in the north, there was the machinery. And so they needed somebody manufacturing. They needed somebody to run that.
Yeah.
And the white guys that was in those factories decided that they wanted to make more money because the factory was doing good after the war. And so those owners said, wait a minute, there's some black people down south that know how to do this.
Okay, excuse me. Keep going.
We can bring them up here and pay them less.
Yes.
And it's be good for us. And so, you know, all of a sudden, now that's a divide in the north of black and white.
Yeah, very much so.
Because we going on the job, and then all of a sudden they're not working. And so today, we got somebody that's doing that divide, and they're using that same strategy.
Yeah, strategy. But that's this country, though.
Yeah.
See, it's like we don't want to go backwards.
Yeah.
This is this is about money, the economy.
Totally.
In this country, there's only one of us kind in the world, for that matter, right?
And so my question, you know, when I'm gonna go to today just for a moment. I don't want to linger on this because I made a promise to myself that I'm not gonna worry about this man.
Yeah.
But today, issues that we have where they're killing people on the street. It started with we're going to find all of those people that are here illegally. Okay? And we're going to send them out of here. And what happened to have you noticed what cities they're in where you're having people get killed, both black and Latino? They're in the northern cities. Now, what happened that they stopped going to the farms, they stopped going to the slaughterhouses, they stopped going to where they're the builders and all of that? You know what happened? They were doing it, and then those white owners complained because I ain't got nobody to work the field. My crops are dying in the field. I'm losing money. Bingo. It stopped that. You know, now every now and then they'll do something, but it's not as prevalent as it was when it first started. You see? So it's all about the money. And so for some reason they thought that, well, if we go out on those in the field and we get them and we can get the black people off the jobs and they'll go back out in the field. They're wrong. That ain't happening. So they found out that wasn't going to happen. So they had to back up on that. They backed up on, hey, if you're an immigrant and you had a child in America, that child becomes an American citizen. He wanted to back up on that and said, if you're not, that child is not. And somebody said he found out that his child, was born in America to a lady that didn't have citizenship. And he backed up on that. It's all about self-preservation.
But just like you said, but that was the definition.
You're right.
The definition of this country.
Right.
And the key is that, and if you want to be a part of that, you need to understand that first.
Right.
Because then when you set, when the laws are set, it's set based on that. So consequently, if you just attack it, and I'm just going to fight against that economic, you're not going to win.
You can't win.
You can't win because you can even get entities on this side of the fence.
Right, they're going to be on the other side
because they're going to pay you to come in to do that piece.
When we remember back in the 50s and 60s, we complained about the fact that there was no blacks in the boardroom.
Yeah.
They brought in one.
Yep.
Look what.
Yep, they did. Yeah, they did.
Quiet you down. I bring one in, and you became a tradable part.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you became that part that could be moved. If you went against what the others was saying in that boardroom, they brought in another one until they got the right part in there that said that agreed with them or shut up.
But you know, when you think that, the same entities that were making those decisions, that was the form of government from the mother country.
Oh yeah, they brought it with them.
Yeah, they brought it.
All they did was bring it with them.
And it wasn't about the majority. It was just a few people got together. These were basically individuals that were sent over to manage the economics for the mother country. So they just say, well, hey, wait a minute, look at again, the mindset. Well, we're gonna do our own thing. They got a lot of this water down there. They can't fight us on land. The numbers, they got to get on them ships.
That's right. Well, I laugh at. Well, I don't laugh at them. I shouldn't say that. But I just kind of shake my head and smile at how many of us think that it was the South that said, no, we want black people to be 3/4.
They were all across the board.
What happened is that the South said, since we're dealing with numbers, we got more people than you, so we get more people in Congress than you.
Yeah.
We get, we get more votes than we'll have more votes than you. And the North went, whoa.
Yeah, that's right.
No, those slaves that you have would be whatever the number is.
Yeah.
Is there, what is it? I don't know, taking it out of my history lesson, but 3, 4.
But that was the politics.
That was
it
politics.
About the money.
Right. It's about the money and the vote.
That's right, and the vote, which is the politics.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And so how important is voting?
Yeah, right.
Voting is very important
Very, very
because
important.
they made it that 3/5.
Yeah.
You know? And so we have to, don't let someone tell you, oh, don't worry about history.
No,
That's in the past.
Yeah.
Hey, if you not, my father used to always tell us, if you don't know your history, you're destined to repeat it.
Yep. Yeah.
And now, a lot of our kids don't know the history, and we're beginning to understand that they're about to repeat it. If you leave it up to someone else to tell your story, it's going to be their story about you.
Yep.
So, I just look at it and I go, I learned so much from Dr. King, from Jesse Jackson, from Bide Rustin.
But you were existing. You were at the table.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? You were at the table, and then you had to learn when you're there.
That's right.
Because a lot of them cats that are sitting around the table, they don't want to give up nothing.
Yeah. Shut up and listen. and so I looked yesterday. I watched the Portland City Council.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Let's talk about that. And by the way, folks, in all due respect, that's why I'm saying Bob's going to be sitting in his own chair in the future for 26. But my point is that we're trying to educate.
Yes, it.
We're not trying to be anti this country. Understand? We're here. We're part of this. See, so it's very, very important. Just have to see that. We just had a sergeant major just walked in the door here for a minute. We're gonna get him over here on the chair for a minute. Okay. But the bottom line is that, as I was saying, is that we've got a lot to say.
Right.
And trust me, Bob brings a lot to the table. We've been bringing a lot of this stuff to the table for a number of years.
Oh yeah.
Quite some time.
Over 20.
And so we're reaching out and saying, hey, we don't want to change things. We just want to educate you about the history to know that in fact there's no other country like it in the world, if you will.
When I referee high school basketball, and it amazes me to watch them say at the beginning of the game they want to play the national anthem.
Right.
And to watch, hey, kids. Mm-hmm. I'm not talking about colors. I'm talking about kids.
Yes, right.
Sit down. They tell us, please stand and remove your hat.
And put your hand on the heart.
And they sit down with their hats on. In defiance.
Yep.
Don't even know what they're being defiant about.
Which is a key point.
Yeah.
They need to know what that flag is.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people died for those colors.
That's right. That's right.
And it's one of those things where, you know, I learned a lot about this country because I became a history major, and it was two subjects that I thought I was when I left high school, my teachers told me, say, you're kind of horrible at these two subjects, and that was, I could count because there was nobody going to take my money. But English, man, and history. But when I went to college, I gravitated to it. I ended up graduating with language arts and social studies, you know, because I wanted to know what people were trying to keep away from me. And that's what we somewhere along the line, it looked like we had lost that desire to want it. We just want to wait until it come to us.
Yeah, well, everybody is.
We don't
now.
want to fight for it.
Well, everybody is right.
Yeah.
Now. And then the politics is pretty well kind of the money is there. The money, and like you said, the money is definitely there, but there's the politics to get that money.
Right.
Okay. And so consequently, because of that, people are focusing on waiting for the money to come to them.
Yeah.
And what a handout.
I mean, how in the world can somebody give you $1,000 and you think you're going to live? I mean, you can't even pay rent, you know. And so I remember talking to a young lady, and she said, "Well, I got 3 kids, and I'm on welfare, and I get food stamps, and my housing is." I said, "But it's not where you want to live; it's where they allow you to." I say, what happens if something happened that month and you don't get the check, they don't pay the rent? I say, it's they. I say, where's your desire to want more instead of just take what somebody give you?
And the day's time is that you can be homeless.
Yes.
You know, but guess what? That's short too.
Yes,
you got another group of folks that have taken that over too.
Hey, I can tell you stories on that on friends from the last week, you know, but I'm not going to go there because time is short.
Yeah,
but you know, how do we motivate each other to begin to get involved?
Okay. Well, I tell you what. Why don't we use the city council, the new structure that we have in Portland, because it's the largest city in the state of Oregon, right? Largest city in the state of Oregon, and that point person, we got a problem. So we need to make it, if you will, evolve into something that's going to be productive for all of us, for that matter. So let's get into that piece. They threw that on the table for the first time around, if you will. We already had a form of city government where city council people represented bureaus. We had a chairperson, which was considered to be the mayor, and who was put in charge of the police department, so to speak. And he broke the votes, and he basically identified what issues was going to go to the table. It was a whole 9 yards. It was a very comfortable situation. But then all of a sudden, someone is as if to say, who introduced that situation to the table?
And that's the thing that no one fully understands.
And they don't talk about it.
You know, there are rules. You know, for city council, and one of them is that if there's a tie vote, the mayor has the vote. Just like in the Senate, if it's a tie, the vice president has the vote.
It was there.
And so all of a sudden they come up with, well, that don't mean that they can break the tie if we're voting on something that's involving us. You know,
but then you had two issues there, the two entities that were kind of like fighting among themselves. It was the Peacock group, and I mean, sometimes trying to figure out what is that.
Did you elect people to become a peacock?
You
know, a group or and another entity, or did you elect these people to work for the betterment of everybody's good?
But like you said, but at the end of the day, it was selfish, because once it ended up and they selected a president, the president indicated that he was a Peacock person, But yet he.
But I'm going to work with everybody else.
Yes,
I got these 5 people over here plus one that said I'm going to vote for you,
Yeah, right,
Mr. Peacock.
Right.
And so most of our things should be okay.
Right. And the other thing that got me that whole piece, and they basically threw the race issue on the table because of that.
Race, sex,
sex,
gender.
Jesus Christ! All of a sudden there was, the present president. You don't want her because she's Jewish and LGBT and gay.
Yeah.
I mean, and then there was the other guy who was carrying the 5 or 6 votes from District Number 2.
Yeah,
he was
Pakistan.
Pakistan. But he was Asian.
Yeah,
he was Asian.
Okay.
But what's being promoted though? But he was black.
Yeah, he dark skinned. I'm like,
so, that's the pickup. That was a
what
pickup
happened.
group.
What happened to how much? What can you do?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And I listened to him yesterday. I don't even live in the city. I don't live in the county. I listened to him, and I was like, I can't believe they're fighting over this.
And then, in all due respect, we wouldn't be having this discussion had it not been for 3 individuals that at least had some background and experience of the politics.
Right.
2 of them were from city council, and the other person was from the county.
Right.
Loretta Smith, and we had 2 of them, Steve Novak for the city of Portland, and Dan Ryan. Dan Ryan. And they basically got into the discussion
to try to educate
folks, but there was no listening.
No.
They were still fighting. And as I said, it's just so interesting that the president that they, at the end of the day, they select was part of the Peacock group that was basically identified as one who was going to be fighting this whole issue of Sanctuary City. He was going to fight for Sanctuary City, the minorities, if you will. And then all of a sudden, once he got the seat, he said, "Oh no, I was just there. I wasn't with these folks all the time, but I'm not that anymore."
Yeah. And what gets me is the tide kept coming down.
Yes.
To the two people of color.
Yes. Yeah. Right. Of color.
And then all of a sudden they end up electing a person that's not of color.
Yeah, but the thing is, but again, the thing to get from a historical standpoint, you think about, we were identified as all these black, Negro, colored, all this other people of color, this, that, and the other. That was considered black Americans.
Right.
Now today, all of a sudden, they jumping on. Let's put them back on point, and we understand what on point is. Who gets shot first?
Yeah,
that point person.
Well, the thing
Sergeant Major would know that.
The thing that really got me was when I started looking at why in the world is it taking so long just on this one issue?
Yeah.
Well, then I realized I remembered something that someone told me. Robert, when you're the chair of an organization, you do not want to put together groups of 12 or more people, because you think about it, if you got 12 ideas and everybody get a chance to talk about it, they're gonna get bored.
Yeah.
Especially if you just take 3 12s, that's 36 minutes right there, and everybody's getting 5. And or more.
Yep.
And I'm looking at them going, how in the world did the city of Portland end up with 12 people as your city council when you had 5?
Yep.
And you,
with all the things that we're talking about,
and you're complaining about the money, and now you're in the red, and you're paying everybody 133 plus
perks, which are 150,000
to sit in a seat. And what have they done?
No,
and every time you turn around, you got a 6-6 vote.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something else too about that whole piece. I can tell you why the present mayor, Keith Wilson, didn't say anything about it. The rationale is this: the business community basically brought him in there,
right?
And then business community said, "Well, hey, we can't take any sides, because if we do, we're gonna get hit harder."
Yeah.
So we're trying to stay, in all due respect, and we need those business folks.
So be quiet and get a position.
Yeah, just sit there and do not take any sides one way or the other, because they already knew the composition of all of them to begin with.
Right.
And they didn't want to get caught up in the whole issue of race They got to get folks coming through their tills, right?
Right.
And bring those businesses back downtown Portland.
Man.
So it's a but at least we're talking about it.
Yes.
And we're trying to educate the voting public out there, because now you got to understand, and that's the other thing, and I keep harping on the fact is that the voting public are the employers.
And that's where we've lost our way.
We've lost it. The voting public are the employers, and the elected officials are the employees.
And they treat us like, oh, I'll talk to you if
That's right.
you know.
They don't even call you.
No. You want an appointment. Well, you can talk to one of my aides because, hey, I didn't hire your aide. I hired you. You know.
I've been doing this show for a number of years, and people have been knowing, et cetera, and I've invited them over, and they're not interested.
No.
But that's okay. But now we got to reach out. And then I'm not even trying to be anti them. I'm saying, hey, I'm going to help you. We got to help you out, because in all due respect, it's almost like having been two former military guys that went to basically the same boot camp.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically how we've learned.
Oh yeah.
What this society is all about. It was a controlled environment. It was a controlled environment. You didn't walk in there the first day as if to say you knew your left foot from your right foot.
I thought I did. Man, when I finished doing push-ups and sit-ups and running, I learned.
I heard that.
I realized that all that street training I had from the south side of Chicago didn't work in the military. They had their set of rules, and it wasn't my set. I had to follow those rules.
Right.
And that's the thing that we look at government today. And they come in and they set up what they want.
That's right.
All the rules. I don't care about your rules. I'm setting up what I want.
I mean, we got some problems.
Oh yeah,
we got some problems. In fact, when you think about it, we're supposed to have a group. Individuals that are sitting in those seats should be folks that are basically going out for our interests. Mm-hmm. Whether it be in D.C.,
right,
or in the city, or in the ward, or wherever, they're supposed to be doing one thing: looking out for our interests, right, understanding what the issues are. But guess what? The ones that are basically, let's say, in the Washington arena, all you have to do is just Google their names, and they're all millionaires.
Mm-hmm.
And then
they didn't come a millionaire.
No.
But when they leave, they are.
And it's in all due respect, it's still economics. And the fact of the matter, when they got down there, the bottom line is that they understood the game.
Right.
And look at, I got some monies for you if you vote this way. Mm-hmm. That's all it is. And I'm not trying to say, well, okay, fine, let's go back and fire them all. No, we can't do that. We just gotta, hey, change the.
Make them understand that we're watching.
We're watching.
We stopped being a watchdog group.
Exactly.
We became a watchdog group rather than an active group.
Exactly.
We used to walk in. I remember when I used to go to Congress.
Yes.
And I didn't care who it was that was sitting in the seat in Congress.
Right.
If I went to see them, I got a chance to walk in the door.
There you go.
And I didn't talk to an aide.
There you go.
You know.
But they knew who you were.
Yeah. Well, they knew that I was with a group that had the money.
That's right. And the vote.
That's right. We had the people too.
That's right. We had the people.
And so all this stuff about you can do it on your own is crap.
Right.
You know, we have to maintain.
Right.
The reason we are losing is because we're buying into the crap.
Yep.
You know, the one that said, "Hey, man, you don't need him." Them old folks.
That's right.
That's the old way.
That's right.
Well, you know, what's the new way? The new way is you sitting over there without.
Well, that's why we're doing this right. We're doing this
that's
way.
That's it.
We're getting it. But look, we got about 15 more minutes, and just so happen I have another person that's in the house who happened to be former military.
Yeah.
He's got some stripes. He's a sergeant major, you know. And so he
I get chills when you say that.
Oh, man, I tell you, man. And I was just a gunny, you know. So, you know, you got to recognize.
I ain't never been called boy so many times by a brother.
I heard that. So what we're going to do is that I'm going to have him. Sergeant Major, why don't you come on over here?
Bring your chair right here.
Bring it right over here. Bring that chair. Bring it right over here.
This is live TV.
This is live TV. This is people. See, we're the employers.
Right.
See, we're the employers, so we know what's going on. Okay, come on.
It's a pleasure meeting you, sir.
Likewise. Excuse me for not standing.
Okay, why don't you push that chair?
Okay.
Push that chair a little bit closer to his.
Okay.
Push it. Keep going. You're doing good. We're doing good. Keep going. Let me make sure that you're in the screen. Okay, let me see. Now, come back a little bit more. There you go, this way.
Right there?
Yeah. I can go back this way a little bit. Okay, now come on this way, buddy. Yeah, come on back this way. There you go. Okay, keep on going. Keep going, Bob. Okay, I'm just getting in there. I'm fixing it up for them.
Okay,
get your head in there. Okay, come on.
I'm almost in there.
Yeah, you get
I'm almost in there.
Okay, get a little bit more there. Can you get a little bit more in there?
Come a little
see.
closer. We're going to act like we sardines here.
There you go.
go.
We're in good shape. We're in good shape now. Okay. Sergeant, how you doing?
I'm blessed every day, my friend. It's a pleasure seeing you again.
Yes.
Always a pleasure.
Do us a favor, both Bob, too. Introduce yourself.
Y'all got to excuse the way I'm dressed today?
No, that's okay.
Because I had to go out there trying to make me some money today.
Yeah, I know, but I know you still got your stripes on.
Always.
See them stripes?
Always.
Yeah.
It took me,
I get chilled.
it took me 7 years just to get that star and those old leaves.
Oh, okay.
I was the first sergeant for 7 years. I had to fight every step of the way.
Right.
You hear me?
Right. Yes.
So, I'm not here to...
Well, this is, in all due respect, see, this is Dr. King. Basically, we're recognizing Dr. King by doing what we're doing. We're educating.
Right.
We're saying, see, we're getting down to educate now. We're going to recreate the boot camp. Let people recognize. You got to say to get these. We got to go to boot camp. We got to maintain. And the whole idea of a boot camp is a controlled environment. Mm-hmm. See, right now it's lackadaisy. Right now, see.
Well, no, it's right now it's instant gratification.
Yes.
When we went to boot camp,
that was controlled.
it was for a certain period of time, so that was long-term gain. You didn't walk in there the first day knowing everything.
With a leader.
These kids today, they think they know more than they know everything and haven't been taught anything.
But see, you have to understand who you're dealing with.
Yes.
These are a whole new breed of kids, breed of generation.
Yeah.
And I was down at the American Legion down in Milwaukee, and I was the only brother in there.
Mm-hmm.
Walked in that door, and people, and I looked at the people. He said, "Well, Sergeant Major," he said, "I want you to recruit." I said, "You need it because in 10 years, everybody in this room is not going to be here."
Right.
Mm-hmm. Because they all in their 80s,
mm-hmm.
90s. I said, you need to start some type of recruiting process now. Mm-hmm. You need to get on TV. You need to be on radio. You need to work deals out with the recruiters out here. Now, I was interviewed by a young man for the position of working with the state of Oregon for the defense force. Mm-hmm. But who gonna go in there and work their tails off in civilian clothes? That is not gonna happen.
That's right. That's right.
Because I know I'm not gonna do it. Mm-hmm. Because you're not gonna get no recognition.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You just a regular guy, a regular old Joe.
Mm-hmm. You me. Mm-hmm.
And they want me to recruit. I can have that place full in about 2 months with one helper. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because I know what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. But as you know, it takes time to learn. Mm-hmm. When you, me and you and this young brother here, mm-hmm. when we was young, we didn't have sense to throw inside of a toy.
That's right.
But dumb I always tell my grads, when I was young, I was dumber than a box of rocks.
A box of hammers. That's it. And then we sit here, but see, you have to understand where these young people is coming from. They're the same way.
The same.
Every generation that comes in do the exact same thing what we did.
That's right.
But we had the draft though. We had the draft in that time.
But see,
the draft.
I'm gonna be honest with you. If we don't wake up, if we as Americans don't wake up,
well, we're waking up.
Boots is gonna hit our soul. Mm-hmm. 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 Now, our commander in chief is over there messing with these Iranian folks over there. Okay, now don't you think they ain't gonna retaliate? They're gonna let you think they're gonna just deal with people out there. They're gonna come right here, just like they did with those airplanes. Remember?
Yeah.
When the 9/11?
Yes.
They came here and they hit American soil and they shut the whole country down.
Right.
Like that. Now, just think about it now.
Oh, that's why we're doing this.
You got a football game, the Ducks. Okay, you got a basketball game, yeah. Somebody go on there and start hollering about Allah and blow up the right up in the stands.
Yep.
Now, don't you think they're gonna shut everything down?
Oh yeah.
Oh
big
yeah.
time.
Ain't nobody gonna be able to do
And
nothing.
everybody gonna be thinking twice about going.
Exactly. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing. But what we have to do is we have to work together.
Yes.
And see, and then, you know what pisses me off? Really pisses me off. You got the Republicans, the Democrats, and then all these other little organizations out here. They all bickering and fighting, acting like damn children. They sit there and they argue and fight and carry on, shut the country down. For what?
Yeah.
For what reason? In God's name, what reason? Don't they know we got to get up and we got to pull together?
Yeah.
Forget about all this political crap.
Now, you're not the same color as me. So,
you're right.
I got to have more than you.
Yeah, you're right. And see, they, to me, y'all forget. I don't mean to take over the conversation. Please forgive me.
No.
You're educated.
You know,
we're educating. That's why we brought you in.
What we have to do is we have to pull as a unit.
Yes.
Now, if we don't do this, now when I talked to this young man down there, he was about my age and went to Salem down there. I went down on a base, went out there and talked to him about being the command sergeant major down there. And I told him, I said, look, I can get this place together for you. I said, we need to have people like us in there, but we need young people. We can't do it alone. I mean, I say, you got, there's the Oregon Defense Force. And I went in there and I saw the pictures of every last person on that list looked like they was finally walking to the grave. Every last one of them, they had a young person in the group nowhere.
But where did it break down?
When they started paying people.
Well,
when you start paying people, you get a breakdown.
But see, let me tell you something. I go out there, honest to God, truth, with all my heart and soul. I work like a dog. I won't ask for a nickel because this is my country, and I love it with all my heart and soul, and I can say that. But the young people today, they don't respect it. You know why? They ain't been down. See, I grew up in Jim Crow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh
yeah. You grew up in Jim Crow.
Oh yeah.
See, they don't know what it's like to be segregated.
That's it.
And to be, listen, a white man slapped my mama. That's when I think I was like 6 years old, and I remember that. I remember all the things. I picked cotton. You pick cotton?
Oh yeah.
Did you pick cotton?
I picked the shirt on you guys.
See, I was out there. I was out there picking cotton, man.
Yep.
And see, the kids today don't know what they have.
Right.
They honestly don't know. Go on, sir.
No, go ahead. You talk. You preaching.
You got about 5 minutes here. You got 5 minutes. In all due respect.
But let me tell you something.
Let me tell the viewing audience real quick, like that we're going to be breaking shortly, but I'm going to be getting this group back again.
Okay.
But we're going to be doing this ongoing. We're going to be doing ongoing. This is now a controlled environment we're talking about.
That's
we
it.
got to get to the young folks.
Well, let me tell you what you have to do.
We have to do.
I already know how to get them. You got to come to them on their level.
Right. Can't talk down to them.
You got to talk with them.
That's right.
You know. Now, if you go in there and saying, the kids today, they are so smart. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's smart. Oh, that's smart.
Every time you can have trouble with your phone, who,
Oh, yeah.
who do you go to?
I just did it with my son this morning. I said, what do you mean? He said, Dad, no, don't worry about it. Just call me.
Yeah, and see, this is what we have to do.
Well, that's what we're doing right now.
If they stop bickering and, excuse my language, bitching about nothing,
Right.
and it's nothing.
Right.
But see, that nothing does two things to us. One, it makes us turn away from what the issues are, and two, and this is important, it makes us leave the room. And we have to begin to be the voice that say, hey, that's not why we're here.
That's right.
Well, that's where that controlled environment comes
Yeah.
from. See, like I said, all three of us, when we got into service, it was a controlled environment. It's called boot camp.
Yeah, they beat your
At,
butt
at,
in
at
there.
the end of the day, you knew who you were.
Yeah.
So you was in the Army.
Oh, Marine Corps.
You was, that's right, you was in the Corps. Then you know.
Oh, yeah, every day.
I was in the Corps too. See, he the only one that was left.
I was living the life.
Yeah, you was.
Yeah.
Yeah, you was.
But it was still there. It was a controlled environment. The boot
It
camp,
was.
all boot camps were the same, so
Yeah.
to speak.
No, not the Marine Corps now.
Well, you know,
You know, we can't say every boot camp is the same because
No,
it really
okay.
ain't. The Marine Corps is a whole new dog by itself.
Well, we were let's put it this way, from a military, we were the point person.
We can say
In the
that.
sport,
Yeah.
we're a point person.
We can say that.
I mean, but we needed that support.
And
'Cause I can tell you about that when I was in Nam, and when that Air Force came in there with that C-130 and hit my unit around there, I slept good that night.
when they fly over,
That's right.
and they hitting them from afar.
That's right. That's
You
right.
know, and all you
Right.
see is that napalm.
That's right.
You know,
oh, that rattling going
you
around.
smile.
Oh yeah.
But you know, have you seen Vietnam lately?
Oh,
yeah.
it's,
Absolutely gorgeous.
No.
it's better than I was like, holy mackerel!
No, that's-
This is ridiculous.
Uh-huh.
How did they build in this short period of time what we can't do after a hurricane?
Oh, very simple, because we did it.
But because see, but they don't have everybody bickering and fighting against one another.
Right.
Now I want to make a point here.
Do me a favor now, because I got about another minute.
Okay,
I got
let me
about 2
say
minutes.
this. I
Keep
want
going.
to introduce, if it's okay with you,
Okay.
I want to introduce my candidacy.
Okay.
I'm gonna be running for mayor of Milwaukee, Oregon.
Okay.
Oh.
Hey, oh,
And what I plan on doing is, if we can get the homeless people under control and give them a place to stay in a controlled environment, putting a bounce right back.
Okay.
You take care of the homeless people and all the graffiti and the people that's doing that graffiti crap. They need the law needs to step in.
We know how to do that.
Oh, without doubt.
Well, look, I'm going on break at this point in time, and I'll say that we'll get back to you, and we're going to continue this conversation, right?
Oh
sir.
yeah.
You can be part of this team.
Yes, sir.
Your boot camp, we got a sergeant major now. We're in good
Yeah.
shape. Okay, so look here. Please join us again, and we're going to continue this. And like I said, get together with your friends and share this conversation that we're having. Share it and have conversations among yourselves, and kind of get a sense of where you fit in this organization.
Right. Tell a friend.
Tell a friend. Tell a friend, and tell a young person. Or better yet, tell an old person.
And discuss what we were talking about.
Because this is about this country. It's about that flag. Red, white, and blue.
That's right.
It's
That's
about red,
right.
white, and blue.
And
we want to keep it here. We want to
yes,
keep
sir.
it here. So
It's not their flag, it's our
flag.
our flag. It's our flag. And all cultures are part of that.
That's right.
situation.
That's right.
There's no such thing as one culture controls it all.
That's
No.
right.
It's all complete, totally.
Yeah.
Okay? And we got to get away from that racism. We're going to deal with that. That's done. We're in a controlled environment now. Let's take care of some business. And please, do that. And again, we dedicated this particular show, to Dr. King.
Yes.
We're dedicating the show because that's what we need to do. Take care. Have a good evening. We'll see you next week. We can talk now.
I can talk now.